Galavina, Guia Dolosana, Angito Talitakini and Navarro and Bula FM and Golden Point Resort, Basendo Nambandana Here, Vinaka.
Bula Vinaka, Navan Gotevita, Tungo 90, and the Talita Navarro and Bula FM, Nambandu, and I said.
Nadago Makilesi, where Kraki, and Lesbian and Bula FM, Nambandu.
Hello, Ratu Kitchen in Gatabo, and do Talita Navarro and Bula FM, and Moldo and Seru.
Bula FM, number 2 and Seru.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Tonight, former flying Fijian Seru Rabeni laid to rest. Prime Minister tours cyclone-damaged villages in the Lau Group. And vegetable prices stabilize in the Northern Division. Family, friends and former teammates today farewelled the late Seru Rabeni as he was laid to rest in Nasinu today. Former national reps who played alongside Rabeni shared memories of their friend and teammate who built up a reputation around the world as a hard-hitting and hard-running player. Chalindal Dakadaka has more.
Central Christian Center in Nosori was filled to capacity as people paid their last respects to the late Seru Rabeni. Former teammate Moses Rauluni played with Rabeni on numerous occasions. The best of all was the 2007 Rugby World Cup, where fellow players came up with a nickname for Rabeni.
Now I know a lot of the press and everyone knows his nickname as Rambo, but in the Fiji team we used to call him 110%, Mr. 110%. This was because when he used to talk to the team, he used to always tell the boys to give it 110% in fitness, but when we're running, he's right at the back. We should have actually named him 20%.
Another member of that memorable 2007 team says it was hard to receive the news of Rabeni's passing.
We go back a long way. We started playing together for Lotoka when he was at Teachers College. And we played 7s together before we switched to 15s. We made our test together into Department 2000. He was one of the best centers I ever played with. It was always a pleasure playing with him. Defensively, you know, the opposition was scared of him, to be tackled by him.
William Mesatala, a renowned hard-hitting center in his own right, recounts his playing days with Rabeni.
I played with Seru a couple of times. He played 12, I played 18. Or he played 11, play on the wing. He's such a great player to play with.
Rabeni's former teammates were today his pallbearers and carried the coffin with heavy hearts to his final resting place at the Nasinu Cemetery. Even after the former flying Fijian was laid to rest, there was still disbelief among his former teammates at his sudden passing. Chalindal Dakadaka, FBC Sports.
Prime Minister Bainimarama has reassured Fijians living on the island of Vanuatu of his government's commitment to bring their lives back to normal, and also those of other Fijians who were affected by tropical cyclone Winston. While speaking to villagers from Mualevu, Sawana and Loma Loma yesterday, Bainimarama assured relief and rehabilitation for the island's worst affected villages. Sharon Shivan reports.
Vanuatu in the Lau Group fell directly in the path of tropical cyclone Winston and as such has suffered massive damage. Out of the 44 confirmed deaths during tropical cyclone Winston, 6 people died on the island alone. A number of homes and schools were destroyed and the villagers are still coming to terms with the loss.
The
reason for the visit today was so that we could come and see the progress of the rehabilitation works being carried out on the island after the destruction caused by the cyclone.
The Prime Minister urged the villagers to prepare themselves for future natural disasters as we are still in the cyclone season. He also asked for their understanding in relief and rehabilitation efforts currently underway, given the extent of damages throughout the country.
I know that you are also aware of the nationwide devastation left behind by Tropical Cyclone Winston, and that it will take a long time for all rehabilitation works to be completed and for your lives to return to normal.
The Prime Minister expressed his gratitude to the New Zealand Defence Force for the rehabilitation and construction work being carried out on the island. Bainimarama toured the villages of Mualevu, Boithadi, Narodivo, Loma Loma, Sawana, the Kiloma Loma and Levukana. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
Families affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston have thanked the government for its quick response, efficient provision of food rations and rehabilitation work. The majority of government resources has been diverted to restabilize the lives of all Fijians. Ali Kimbia has more.
Taking the lead role to restore lives, Prime Minister Burenge Bainimarama has received praise from villages and communities severely affected by the cyclone.
I want to thank the Prime Minister and your government for helping us in time. Despite the number of people that are affected, we thank your government for their efforts.
I want to thank this government that we are able to receive something, especially our children. The government has tried so hard to put our children back to school.
Lives were lost and many were left to start from scratch, with homes and livelihoods destroyed. Many could not hold back their tears when receiving relief assistance from the government.
We want to thank the government for helping us. The reaction was so quick that we were able to be assisted just after the cyclone has hit us. I think this is one of the best government.
We want to thank this government. We thought that we will be forgotten, but when the Prime Minister visited us in time of need, we are really happy.
As rehabilitation works progresses, the government has assured all Fijians that assistance will be provided to all. Slowly but surely, no one will be left out. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, slight relief from prolonged dry spell after TC Winston, but more rain still needed.
Yandra, I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Rakiriki Village. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valeu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Tilipa from Tavua Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back here with FBC News. Now, wrecked homes, broken bridges and jetties and lost lives are not the only consequences of a natural disaster such as Cyclone Winston. Survivors often suffer psychological trauma following such terrifying events, and psychological first aid is as important as regular first aid.
In the wake of Tropical Cyclone Winston, thousands of Fijians are now rebuilding as quickly as possible in the hopes of returning to normal lives. Such traumatic events can take a toll on a person's mental well-being as well. The Ministry of Health is working hard to deliver psychological first aid to vulnerable communities.
Definitely, there is a huge need for it. We've gone through a very a big event. Cyclone Winston was a disaster of big proportions, and following any trauma or disaster, there is normal reactions that come, normal reactions to grief and loss that come with it, and there are people who are facing these things, and of course there's a big need to have these services available out there so that people can tap into it.
Dr. Curran says everyone reacts differently in the wake of a natural disaster and other traumatizing life experiences. Some have grieved enough, whilst others may grieve long after the loss of years of hard work or a loved one. It is for this reason the ministry is working hard to reach out to everyone.
There's a lot of support that has been put out there and a lot of services that have been made accessible. So we've got medical outreach teams that are going out there, and we've got our teams that are going out there providing psychological first aid and counselling services through our partner agencies as well.
Vanua Mbalavu, Taviuni, Ovalau and nearby islands, Tailevu, Koro and Rakiraki are some of the priority areas marked by the ministry. There, they will help to guide the most severely affected Fijians in overcoming their traumatic losses. Jackie Spate, FBC News.
Despite the hike in vegetable prices in some municipal markets, prices at the Lambasa market have more or less normalized. Eleanor Turangaivu reports prices are now stable, almost a month after TC Winston.
4 weeks after tropical cyclone Winston left the agriculture sector crippled, vegetable and root crop sellers are feeling the brunt of the destruction. However, prices at the Lambasa market have normalized quickly.
We lost some of our produce in the cyclone, but things are getting better now. During cyclone, we used to sell some vegetables for almost $5, but it's back to its normal price now.
Lambasa was almost untouched by the cyclone, hence its agriculture sector wasn't necessarily affected. Yangona vendors are however starting to feel the pinch as their suppliers are based in the affected areas.
I am selling waka for around $40 to $45 or even $50 a kg.
The Lambasa market is one of the few earmarked to supply and sell vegetables to the worst affected areas. Local government minister Parveen Bala has said talks are ongoing with municipal councils to this effect. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
Now, the dry spell that affected parts of Fiji has only slightly improved after TC Winston. Director of Meteorology Rabeni told FBC News that people still need to use water wisely. Farzana Nisha has the latest.
About 500 millimeters of rain during tropical cyclone Winston has eased the effects of a prolonged dry spell to some extent.
Looking at February, we had a very good rainfall. However, when we look at January and December, the rainfall deficiencies that has been created, that was not enough in all the sites to create a or bring in the balance with rainfall that has not occurred in the past 3 months. So when we look at that, though tropical cyclone Winston brought good rain, but when you look over the last 3 months, still we need more rain.
Some areas that still need more rain include parts of the west, the northern and outer islands. Kumar says the El Nino phenomenon is expected to decline by October at the latest.
We are still getting below normal rainfall, except for February we had good rain. As we see into the current day in March, we are not getting as much as we expected. However, if this trend continues, which means to say we will continue to be in deficiencies.
The Weather Office says Fiji needs about 60% more rain this month alone to cover for deficiencies that have accumulated. Farzana Nisha, FBC News.
Coming up in sports after the break, Vodafone Flying Fijians' preparations for qualification to next Rugby World Cup begins. And no overseas teams at next month's Mara Sevens. This and more coming up after the break.
मैं हूं रेहान खान कुरबो तालेबू के जैसे फेस्टिवल ए ग्रेड है कुरबो में उसी तरह मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है कुरबो में
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची एफएम को लॉक कर दिया जाए मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट
हम नकाशी से साइमान है हमारा फेस्टिवल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है
माय नेम इज दिनेश हम नैंडी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में और मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट आई लाइक इट मिर्ची एफएम
Welcome to FPC Sports. Now, the Vodafone Flying Fijians kicks off its 2019 Rugby World Cup qualification with the Pacific Nations Cup in June this year. Speaking on Fbctv's Vodafone Sports Lounge show last night, National coach John McKee provided an update on how preparations are going. Rohit Deo tells us more.
This June is very important for us. Rugby World Cup qualification. One World Cup finishes and we're looking towards the next one. But it's really important. The Rugby World Cup qualification for us, initially it's across the 2 legs of the PNC in June, and this year and in 2017. Tuisova, who is playing at Toulon, he's been in outstanding form across the top 14 this year in the European Championship games. We were well aware of his ability last year, but he just wasn't quite on our radar with the strength that we had around the wing position.
No overseas teams will take part in next month's Fbctv Maris Sevens. The tournament is being held a week earlier because of the Coca-Cola Games taking place from the 27th to the 29th at the same venue. Maris Rugby Club President Lawrence Tikaram says with no overseas teams taking part, more local clubs will get a chance to participate at this year's tournament.
Probably the beauty in saying that is that we have really given full exposure to all our local clubs to come and perform at their very best. And I think we're doing justice by ensuring that we promote as much as you can grassroots rugby at the Fbctv Maris Sevens.
The Maris Sevens will be played on the 22nd and 23rd of next month at Suva's ANZ Stadium. Wardens Gold are the new winners of the Martin Tar Sevens after defeating Police 17-12 in the Cup final today. Wardens Gold beat Army Green 17-12 in the first semi-final, and Police defeated Hideaway Hurricanes 24-14 to book the second spot in the final. Now, defending champions Westfield Dragons bowed out in the Cup quarterfinals after losing to Army Green 21-14 and also lost in the plate final to Bulatale 17-12. Wardens Gold walked away with $5,000 prize money. The two-day tournament was held at Prince Charles Park in Nandi. The Nandronga and Nandi Rugby Union managed to raise close to $1,000 cash at their second and final round of the TC Winston fundraising match. Nandronga Rugby President Tiko Matawalu says they are overwhelmed at the support shown by the public towards the competition.
The crowd was good, the support was good, and we could see the support of the general public in coming forward to support the initiative of getting assistance to the cyclone victims.
The first round of the competition managed to raise a total of $600 cash at Prince Charles Park in Nandi. The second TC Winston fundraising match is still underway at Lawanga Park in Singaturka, with both teams locked at 0-0 in the second spell. In Super Rugby, the Hurricanes hammered the Western Force 41-6 in the match last night. Defending champions, the Highlanders also recorded a close win as the Bulls and Sharks played out to a draw. Cloudy periods were experienced over most places today with isolated showers. And constant temperatures today with 3 centres recording 33 degrees Celsius this afternoon. Now tomorrow's forecast is for rain and afternoon showers over the Fiji group. And the outlook for Monday, occasional rain, heavy at times, and few thunderstorms over most places are expected. Recapping the main stories, former flying Fijian Seru Rabeni laid to rest in Nasinu. Prime Minister tours cyclone-affected communities in the Lao group. And Health Ministry working on psychological support for people still traumatized after TC Winston. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. And we move on to this week's poll question. And we are asking, are you happy with the current Fiji Sevens reps? To answer, visit our FBC website. Or you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. If you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News, or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini, and we now take you live to the Super Rugby match in Christchurch. Good night.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Seru. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka, and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Sulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.